Christian then spins off into a feud with AJ Styles, but we have to go backwards a little bit to talk about the AJ Styles Chris Sabin stuff first, and Daniels as well, I guess, as we have interlocking stories this month.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of stories that happen for TV that they just don't deliver on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, because like AJ is involved with Daniels and Sabin the whole month, and then just randomly has like a pay-per-view match with Christian that's set up at the last minute.
It's very silly. I don't understand it, but like I'll take it.
Do you think they only just realized, like, oh no, we have nothing for Christian on the pay-per-view, let's take Styles out of the X Division title match, which was maybe meant to be a three-way?
See, in my head, I thought it was more of a Styles thing. Like, maybe they realized, why are we going back to the X Division? Well,
yeah.
Like, they had that, like, maybe, like, there was a Vince Russo comes in, he immediately is like, all right, AJ, X Division is my, like, happy place. And then goes sort of like, well, he might be a bit beyond this now.
Yeah. Or, well, because as you see by the end of this, it's setting up a different attitude for AJ. So maybe Vinny Woo was like, oh, fuck this X Division shit. I want him to have personality.
But there can be no personality in the X Division.
Ever. Only old personalities being inflicted on new wrestlers, apparently. Though we haven't quite gotten to that part yet. So AJ and Sabin were having those issues through the Fight for the Right tournament. As AJ defeated Sabin to win the X Division title.
It's a bit of an issue.
Some notes after that match, which this is one where I'm like, were they just guessing and they were wrong, or did like plans change immediately? But TNA wants AJ Styles as the centerpiece of the X Division, which is why Chris Sabin's title victory at Bound for Glory was ignored on Impact and he lost immediately. Russo is high on Styles and believes the move to primetime is a good time to re-establish Styles top of that division. He loses the title in the next TV taping after that note, so...
That's why I kind of think maybe like he had an idea and then had a realization of that's not the best use of AJ. Because like if he comes back and he's not been watching the product and he's like, I'm now in charge of it again, he probably thinks AJ Styles X Division champion is my easy plot, is my easy spot. It's my thing I can go to. It is concrete. And then like after seeing where he's at, he's probably like, oh well, maybe this is a little beyond that.
This guy has moved on a little bit from October, November 2004. And he does say he hasn't been watching wrestling since. I don't believe it. But he does say that. Angle told Sabin that he was a great wrestler, but he didn't like his look. Angle said he looked too dirty and didn't stand out.
That's a classic story.
Angle later made the suggestion, and was apparently serious, that Sabin do a gimmick where he looked like Pigpen in the old Peanuts comic strip, and have food and dirt all over him. Let's just say a lot of people excited about Angle having creative input after that were shaking their heads.
That's the stinky kid.
Do wrestlers just have the worst ideas?
Yes, that's how they need non-wrestlers to book things.
Like, is it just the worst? When we talk about like, oh, you know, like how do these bad ideas get through? Do you have to just think about, was that the compromise from the 15 times worse idea all the time?
Well, yeah, because, like, famously, guy with terrible booking ideas, Bryan Danielson, who, like, always pushes stupid-ass shit.
Yes.
And it's, like, is the greatest of all time.
And, like, there was that Jake Hager AEW interview where he was like, I wanted to be Groot with my hat. And you're like, whoa, we're so stupid.
Is it bad I don't hate that idea for Jake Hager comedy gimmick?
That's true. He was one-upped by his hat. His hat did have more personality than he did. So leading into it is not the worst idea.
Like, I think that's kind of fine for him specifically.
You know what I think the issue is? Wrestlers only have ideas for bits.
Yes. Because they're not very funny.
All they can do is like individual bits. It's like, what if Chris Sabin was the Peanuts guy? There's no like story or like long-term narrative, even though they're fucking non-stop talking about that shit. All their ideas are just like, what if I had one bit? And that bit can be funny, but then they often just do that bit until you want to die.
Yeah. There's no level beyond that.
So Sabin ends up costing AJ Styles the Fight for the Right tournament final match, which leads to an X Division title match on the primetime special. During the Samoa Joe Jay Lethal match, Sanjay comes in to break up Joe attacking Lethal after the match, and Jerry Lynn is like, Sabin, get out there too, and Sabin is just like, no.
Sabin's like, why would I?
And there is a whole like thread through the month of Jerry Lynn trying to like guide and instruct Chris Sabin, and Chris Sabin is just like, leave me alone.
I kind of thought we had moved on from this, to be honest.
Well, it's setting up an angle with Jerry, so it's not going nowhere at least.
But like, it just felt like we've been doing that for months, and then like they kind of felt like they were on the same page again briefly.
Yeah, because he was like, look at my belt, I won it. And Jerry was kind of like, I guess you did.
Yeah, like you've sort of proven me wrong.
But then they continue to like sit in the crowd with Jerry watching matches as Craven's.
Which is, again, feels like they're on the same page. Like, Jerry's like, all right, these kids ain't all that bad.
But no, Sabin is bored and wants to rebel.
Mm-hmm.
So later in that show, we get an X Division title match. It is AJ Styles defending the belt against Chris Sabin and Christopher Daniels.
The true three-way.
The Styles Daniels Sabin three-way. There is a Styles Joe Sabin three-way next year that is like, it kind of rocks, and it's one of the most, I think, underrated matches in TNA history.
Okay.
It's edited to death for TV though. That's the only downside.
This is fun. Mainly because you're seeing the dissolution of the AJ Daniels team. They're back to their own like gear again.
Yeah, so like when Daniels lost his Fight for the Right match and AJ tried to help him after the match, Daniels was like, oh, you know, you have the X Division title now and I lost my match. Fine.
I know, like, their problems with each other are very silly.
Yeah.
They're very like surface level.
It is like, we need to invent problems with these men very quickly after they were a seamless team for 6 months.
Like just have a conversation together, you know?
Yeah, that's what Rhino's saying.
True. Rhino is the representative of the audience.
AJ and Daniels don't work together in this match until they do, and then they don't anymore. It's very funny. A bloody, bandaged Christian Cage, because this match took place shortly after the barbed wire steel cage match. He wanders out, grabs a microphone, like bandage on his head, blood still visible, like out of it, and he's like, I'm undefeated. I'm the real #1 contender. I really like that bit.
Yeah. It's also like, in my mind, does he think it's the tournament finals?
And he's in it. Yeah.
It's like did he get the shit kicked out of him so much that he saw AJ and he's like, it's the finals. I gotta go out there and let them know I'm the real #1 contender.
So AJ dropkicks Christian off the apron, brawls to the back after Christian did interfere in the Fight for the Right finals as well. He hit both AJ and Abyss with a chair in that match. So it is like an intersecting story, and Rhino does come into it as well. So they do like try and tie it all together, but it does feel a little messy.
Yeah, but you know, we'll see how it progresses a little bit, I guess. We are kind of like marathoning it into 2 weeks.
Daniels counters the Cradle Shock into a crucifix pin to win the X Division title. The third champion since Bound for Glory.
I don't have a problem with it. The X Division title can be a little jumpy.
All right. AJ's mad that Daniels won the belt.
Again, he's mad at Daniels. It's not his fault.
He took his belt unhonorably because AJ was not currently present.
It's not his fault. He wrestled the match.
He did. He beat the guy in front of him.
What's he meant to do? Go out there and help AJ?
Yeah, help his friend fight Christian.
He's got a damn title to win.
And he did.
Yeah, so AJ should stop being such a whiny little bitch.
So this is not only AJ Styles' final X Division title reign,
which is kind of crazy,
as it comes to an end after 2 weeks.
For now.
This is also AJ's final televised X Division title match.
That's kind of crazy.
He has like a couple of 2007, 2008 X Division title matches against like Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. But this is it. This is it for AJ. He is never in an X Division title match on television again. He's in TNA for another 8 years after this, 7.5. And he never has another X Division title match.
Which makes me again think that like maybe that was part of why like Russo like was a reconsideration or something. Or maybe AJ came up to Russo and was like, I need to be above this now.
It's like, yeah, because he was in the heavyweight division in 05, in it being kind of generous, because he went like X Division champion, won the world title, lost the world title, right back to the X Division. So like he flirted with being world champion in 2005, but went right back to the X Division, then went into the tag division, which is fine. Like he had a good tag, like the LAX matches were really good, the AMW matches were really good. He had a nice little tag run with Daniels, but you would have to imagine coming out of that, AJ would have to be like, let me play with the big dogs. I want to wrestle Christian. I want to wrestle Sting. I want to wrestle Angle. Why am I stuck down here with Chris Sabin doing Jerry Lynn angles?
Yeah, it certainly feels like maybe a general backstage consensus.
Yeah. That they were like, we do need to move on from this. That spins off into 2 matches for the pay-per-view because Christian interfered, cost AJ the X title. It spins into AJ versus Christian on the pay-per-view, and Sabin gets, I guess, technically a rematch against Daniels, even though he wasn't champion. And I guess this should have been Sabin just gets a match against Daniels. There's not a good reason for that.
It makes very little sense, actually, now that I'm considering it.
Just as I was trying to rationalize it, I was like, no, that makes no sense at all, because like this would be his X Division title rematch, and he lost, and he got pinned too. So it's not even you can like do the 3-way thing where it's like, oh, you got the shot in the 3-way.
Like,
you didn't.
In my head, it was like, oh, he could have beat, but he didn't.
Yeah, he got pinned. So yeah, Sabin just gets another shot at Daniels because sure.
Because who cares? It's the X Division.
That's the attitude, yeah. Which brings us to Genesis. JB has Daniels. JB asks about winning the title from AJ. Daniel says, we're best friends, but when it comes to titles, his first priority isn't friendship, it's victory.
Makes sense.
Says he and AJ built the X Division, and he's going to show Sabin why he's the longest reigning X Division champion of all time.
Okay.
And then we get Daniels versus Sabin for the X Division title as Daniels retains.
An interesting little match that doesn't really get a chance to get going because there's too busy focusing on like AJ stuff and Lynn stuff and,
Yeah, like the crowd are with them at the start and they kind of lose them a little bit in like the heat segment, I guess, because I don't think they hate Sabin that much.
Yeah, I don't think they love Daniels that much.
Yeah, Daniels is kind of like the guy that they liked when he was with AJ. And like Daniels did have momentum at the start of the year, I guess. Like they were super into him with the Joe stuff.
Yeah, there was that period where like Daniels was like hot.
Like when he did that like return to attack Joe for like the proper Daniels babyface turn, the crowd were super into him, but it feels like...
It's cold.
Yeah, coming out of the Styles and Daniels team, it doesn't feel like Daniels has momentum there anyway.
Nah, it has certainly cooled down.
Sabin looks to try and use a chair, but AJ comes out and removes the chair from the ring. And Daniels hits a big dive over the post onto Sabin on the floor. Daniels hits a tight DVD followed by a BME for a near fall. Daniels reverses the cradle shock into a crucifix that really looks like it was meant to be the finish. And then Daniels immediately reverses the future shock into a different cradle for the pin. And I believe like Rudy Charles walks up to Daniels and says something right after the finish. And I think it's him being like, sorry, I fucked that.
Interesting. But hey, Rudy's got to call it like a shoot.
Sabin tries to use a chair after the match. Jerry Lynn comes out and stops him. Jerry Lynn throws down his staff badge and says, if Sabin has a problem, let's solve it. Sabin shakes Daniels' hand, but as Lynn goes to leave, he pulls Daniels into a cradle shock, as Sabin is not a man to be trusted.
He's a snake.
He is. And then the other match on the show is Christian Cage versus AJ Styles. JB has Christian before the match. He asks if he's overlooking AJ. Says AJ is just one in a many growing list. He's waiting for the winner of the main event, and then hits the "if you don't know now you know" catchphrase, which I think is the first time he's hit that as like his heel catchphrase.
Doesn't exactly stick with me, to be fair.
Someone in NXT used that too. I don't remember who. It might have been Carmelo Hayes. But anyway. Christian AJ, first time ever match, I believe, at this point. Their only real proper like lengthy match. They do a TV match or two. This is their only pay-per-view match. How are you feeling about Christian AJ?
I don't really feel a lot. Like, I only watched a couple of days ago and I don't really remember much about it, to be honest.
I only remember the one instance where Christian nearly died.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about them. I think like they feel like on paper they'd have like really good chemistry.
Yeah.
But like, Christian has like some problems when he's not like the more dynamic guy in the match. Like he can kind of get lost in it, I feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So like maybe it's just a little bit of a case of that.
Yeah, like I think that's the historical impression of this match, because you see on pay-per-view, you see Christian Cage against AJ Styles, hell fucking yeah. And then you watch the match and like it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it's just kind of a decent little pay-per-view match that doesn't leave a lasting impression.
Yeah. It is kind of fun that this match is on the same show as Joe and Angle.
Yeah.
Like these are both really big sort of like first time matches. One is treated much more as one, but like because like I feel like if you advertised Cage Styles as like a bigger deal, it could have been a bigger deal too.
Yeah, that's like a pay-per-view main event in different circumstances where you could carry an entire show on AJ and Christian.
Yeah.
So AJ looks to lift Christian overhead as an unprettier counter, but Christian over-rotates and does a full flip and nearly dies.
It's pretty fucking gnarly.
That happens to Christian at least like once or twice a month.
Yeah, he's got a wacky relationship with contorting his body.
He is an underrated bump freak in this era.
Yeah. Even like to this day, he's still kind of a weirdo. He'll bust out some crazy shit.
AJ does his big flip dive, but on the rail side and just fucking hammers his legs off the rail.
Yeah. AJ does that a lot.
And like, you know he's gonna do it. And, like, it's not like he tries to mitigate it. He just goes full force every time. He's like, I'm just gonna eat it. I'm just gonna eat it. Christian catapults AJ into the corner, but AJ comes back with the reverse DDT. Christian tries to use a chair, so Daniels runs out to stop him in the same way AJ did earlier in the show. Daniels and Christian have a tug of war over the chair, but this allows AJ to go for a roll-up, but Christian just sits down on that roll-up attempt, uses the chair as leverage, and again pins AJ. So Daniels tried to stop Christian from cheating, then accidentally cost AJ the match. This causes Styles and Daniels to argue after the match. Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt come out to calm things down. Rhino follows and is like, you two go away, I got this. He talks about how he just had his best friendship crumble and he's not about to watch that happen to somebody else.
I really like this, actually. I just like the idea of Rhino being like, I've seen friendships really fucking break up lately, and it sucks, and I would like to stop this for someone else. You
guys, you're on the road to a barbed wire cage match, and you don't want it. It sucks. So he demands they shake hands. Daniels offers a hand. AJ's like, thanks, Dr. Phil. If I needed a psychiatrist, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, you ICE agent.
Okay.
Dr. Phil was out doing ice raids.
Yeah, I forgot that he went all the way down the rabbit hole. Fucking Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he's like a freak.
I used to watch the shit out of Dr. Phil.
The thing is, it's like, I hate to be the one friend who's too woke, but like, most of Dr. Phil was just like, let's find like the people going through the most like ridiculous mental health struggles possible and like put a big camera on them.
Because it is funny that like Dr. Phil and Jerry Springer are fundamentally the same show.
Yeah, but like one got treated with some sort of like reverence and respect and one was considered trash TV.
Yeah, but one dude put the word doctor in front of the name and was like, well, you know, he's doing real work here. Whereas you said it's just as like trashy and exploitative. And I've watched enough of it. It used to be on at like 3 a.m. every night in Ireland. And I watched a lot of Dr. Phil. And yeah, it's trash. It is trash.
Yeah, it is kind of vindicating that he ended up being like a gigantic freak.
It makes sense in hindsight, yeah. So AJ has a new attitude. Mike and Dawn are aghast when AJ said that. They're like, that doesn't sound like AJ Styles at all.
I mean, at different points in time, it sounds like AJ Styles.
That's true.
I'm sure he's told many a person that's tried to like have him explain his feelings and called them Dr. Phil. That feels like something that's come out of AJ's life.